This
Bailey.
conference will now be recorded.
Well, if I don't know if he told y'all that I don't know if he joined the group or not, but I sent links to 2 or 3 friends that have advanced prostate cancer. So
Good job.
if you have someone show up whose name is Loopy, that might be him.
Okay.
And how about Derek? Derek, do you have anything you want to share with us?
Not, Lynn. Thank you. Other than I wanted to say Happy New Year to everybody. 2026.
Well, Happy New Year to you as well, Derek.
Thank
and Linda, do you have anything you want to share? Okay, I see you nodding your head. And Nancy, my neighbor in town, really, she is a neighbor of mine in Texas and probably lives about 20 miles from us. Nancy, do you have anything you want to share tonight?
I'm good. I'm just glad to be here.
Okay, all right. Well, so we've got the recording going. Is that right? Did somebody start it? So welcome everybody. And let me just reiterate that we are all patients. None of us are doctors that I know of. So if you ask us medical questions, we're not going to give qualified medical advice. We might give an opinion or say this is what happened to me, but certainly depend on your doctors for the expertise. So let's start. Before we start our conversation, let me ask Judy and Lou, since they are the moderators or the co-moderators, or anything y'all want to say before we start?
Okay. No, I don't know if anybody heard the message from Michelle that she had a bad reaction to a vaccine today, so she won't be with us this evening.
I think we've all had some adverse reactions to the vaccine, so I think we're all sympathetic, and we wish Michelle a speedy recovery. So, Lou, you're up first on the update list.
Yeah, I got to see my doctor, Dr. Abdallah, at the University of Kansas Cancer Center today, and I had to have labs on Monday, and to see if I could qualify for this new clinical trial at KU, and it's called OPNA, OPNA, and it's -6602. It does not have a name yet. It's got initials and 6602, and he first described it to me as something in a pill form or a capsule, depending on what they ship. And he said it will be similar to Revlimid, but without the side effects. So, we'll wait and see. This is a phase 1 clinical trial. So I think he said there have been 24 people so far have taken it, and that's the only results they have so far. And at KU, I would be patient number 4 in the clinical trial. So I've been in a phase 1 before, and whenever I would ask questions, they would always say, well, we really don't know. And I would always say, oh, that's right. I am the baseline, I guess, here, and one of them. And so, they don't know what they don't know. They just know what the first few across the country have done and reacted to. So my husband did not want me to do this, but I looked at everything, and the other thing would be to go to MD Anderson at Houston. I just wanted to try if there is anything here that I could qualify for and that the doctor recommended. I wanted to try it before I ended up, at MD Anderson. So this is kind of a, last resort for KU, but we'll see. And I have to requalify tomorrow and then again in 14 days. It's the platelet count that really takes a hard hit with this medication. So that's why you have to start out with 75 or higher on your platelet count, or you can't start the medication. So tomorrow I have to have 75 or higher. And then I sign paperwork. I've already signed paperwork for the clinical trial, but it's preliminary, just to get the testing started. So anyway, keeping hopeful that tomorrow's test works out. And then in 2 weeks, before they start the actual medication, that I'll also be 75 or above on my platelet count. So that's what I had to share.
So Lou, they didn't do platelet count on Monday then?
They did on Monday, and it was 76. But they were going to do it today, but they end up tomorrow. I'll have another lab, and that's tomorrow's needs to be 75 or above. And then in 2 weeks, 14 days, they said they will do it again before they start the actual medication, because you have to be at 75 or above or they can't start it.
Sally has a question in the chat, Lou.
It's along the same lines as my question as well. What type of drug what was the drug it was being, the name, and what classification is it?
Yeah, it's not a CELMoD, it's not an IMID. It is, because I asked him, I said, is it in the same classification as Revlimid? And he said, no. It acts differently. It's a new compound, and it, destroys the myeloma cell, but it's not in the other categories that we're used to. So it's new. I mean, I'm in one of the first groups, outside mice.
We'll be thinking of you and sending our prayers for tomorrow.
Okay, I appreciate it. I always figure, I'm hoping, he hopes that it would stabilize my myeloma, which seems to be on the rise, but it's not exploding. So he thinks it can maintain, if not improve. So, my cap is, at 15. So, I mean, if it stayed there and didn't go any higher, I don't, I'm feel fine. I'm able to do what I want to do. So if it maintains, I'm not thinking that's so bad. After my last 2 CAR-Ts didn't last very long. So anyway, I'm just trying to, before I go to MD Anderson and join you guys down in Texas.
Well, let me ask this. How long, so you're 2 weeks before you start, so that's going to be about the end of the month.
Yeah.
So how long would you expect the trial to last? And
it lasts for 2 years if you're able to continue on it, like no major side effects. And it looks like it's stabilizing your disease. So the actual contract that I signed said that it lasts for 2 years as far as taking the drug. They monitor you for 6 years, but David asked, my husband asked Dr. Abdallah today, when should we expect to see some results? And he said 1 to 2 months. So we'll see.
Sally had a question for you.
Yeah, there's that.
Let me read the question for those that
Okay.
don't see it. Yeah, what about bispecific is what she said.
Yeah, I've done teclistamab before. It was 2 years ago. I did teclistamab. And it was great. I mean, within 2 weeks, they couldn't find any myeloma cells in my body. And then after 30 days, they couldn't find it in my bone marrow. So it was awesome. But the problem was at day 39, I couldn't remember my zip code. I couldn't remember my passcode for my computer. My hands were shaking as I was writing. So there are, they took me off of it. 3, what? I'm sorry.
She's using sign language.
Where's your dry erase board?
3 bi-specific, she says.
Oh, the tri? The one that's the tri-specific? Is that what you're talking about? No?
I think she's saying she's had 3 specifics. No?
Elrexfio or something.
Lou, I think your attitude is wonderful, and I just hope it goes really well for you. Do you have to keep your platelets up every time? Like, do they test your platelets every time before treatment?
That's a good question. And I think from what I understand, just for the initial qualification, they expect the platelet count to go down. That's what the drug does. It drops your platelet count. So they don't want you to start out low. So I think it's just, in 2 weeks, I have to be at 75 or higher to be given the first of the drug. So trial for tri-specific, he hasn't talked about that at all to me. I've read about it. He's talked to me about the Majestic trial, which is the, DARA and teclistamab. Yeah, he's talked to me about that, and he is able to do that. It would not be a clinical trial, though. Would just be, he said, I would introduce you to the teclistamab in the hospital for the week, like they usually do. And he said, then within a few weeks, he said, if everything goes okay with the teclistamab, he would add the DARA, because all of these products are now available to doctors, to prescribe as they see fit and as the insurance allows them. But it's outside the clinical trial. It wouldn't be like Majestic 6, like which is going on right now. But the trials at ASH that were presented, the Majestic trials, I think it was Majestic 3, they reported on in the abstracts, and and the results were amazing. I mean, they say that at ASH, it would be very rare for the doctors in the audience to stand up and applaud in the middle of a presentation of an abstract. But they did that this year. All of the people in the audience were on their feet applauding the results of the Majestic 3, because it's been 3 years, I guess, and the results have been, I don't know if it was in the 90%.
Wow.
100%. And they're all still in remission or MRD negative. So it was amazing. All these doctors and, healthcare people that were in the audience, they're a fairly reserved group of people, but they were up and applauding, is what I heard from people that attended, patients who attended. And it was amazing.
Can you not try that one?
I had that neurotoxicity of teclistamab at day 39.
Oh.
So that's been holding back my participation in this clinical trial, because it's with teclistamab and I had neurotoxicity, and there's always the possibility of some of these neurotoxicities to hold on. They've had some people with some of the clinical trials that they've done where some of the neurotoxicities, will hold on and stay with you for a while. So those are all concerns.
So how is your ash still?
Yep. I didn't get to go to these sessions outside what we did, where they taped us, but it was really good. And I mean, it was excellent. They had wonderful people there participating. David was on a patient panel with some other people, and I was on the, I'm sorry, patient. He was on the caregiver panel, and I was on the patient panel. And we had an unbelievably wonderful doctor who did the patient panel. And it will be on Cure Connections website when they finish editing. So when that happens, I'll let you guys know.
There's something in the chat from Sally again. Let's see.
So it's great to see everybody. I'm going to jump over to men speaking. That's not you. Sally just said bye.
Oh,
Oh, and you're still, Sally said she's still 100% after one treatment of the bispecific in May. And it's Elrexfo. How do you say that? Well, you can't say it.
Elrexfelio.
Okay, good. I can't pronounce it.
Well, it depends on which spelling you go by.
Elrexfo. Elrexfo. Good. Yay, Sally.
Elrexfo.
That's wonderful.
Okay, well, up next is Miss Judy, down the road from me, about 150 miles.
okay. I saw Dr. Wan on Tuesday. My blood work has been good. I have, for the first time in years, my hemoglobin is normal from my taking the 3 series of iron shots. So that worked on that. And I had IVIG the first week of January, and we'll get the Pemgarda the 1st of February. Everything looks good. I still haven't had any side effects. I'm still feeling good. Today I walked 4 miles in 1 hour and 4 minutes. So I still exercising okay. And he did talk to me about probably wanting to do CAR T later in the summer. And I kind of questioned that a little bit, but he said that it would be more effective, or it's usually more effective when disease is at a very low level. And so that's kind of where he's going. He also said that we might collect the T cells during the summer, but even I could put off doing it. And he would probably do me with 1 week in the hospital to monitor, because it's, since I don't, my brother would come, but still it would be easier to do that. And then the next week, I think, is where I have to go pretty often too, and then weekly. But that's something to consider. I was hoping that that he was going to say that we were just going to stop at a year, but he seems to think that the CAR T may be the better route to go. So we'll consider that. So I'm not. I have pros and cons. Yes, I want it to, if this would give me a really long remission. He is He said he was going to wait to do the clonoSEQ, but yet today in my chart were orders for clonoSEQ. So I don't know. He may have decided to do that, and then I'll have a CT scan too. So hopefully, but as far as I'm feeling okay and doing okay, so that's good news.
Judy, were you on the CLL Society webinar yesterday?
No, I didn't get to do that, but I'll go back and listen to it later.
Yeah, they talked about CAR T up front in the
Yeah.
first.
The CAR
Continue.
T, the CAR T has gotten, it's almost like it's getting routine because it's the time of having to be close has diminished so much. So
Yeah. Well, it was an
really
encouraging report.
yeah, the things that I've heard about the CAR T and things, the newer is all upbeat. It's not as nearly as scary as when we first heard about it with Brian. So
Yeah.
so,
And he had around with the neurotoxicity.
right.
And we're talking about Brian Kaufman,
Yeah.
medical doctor in California that has CLL.
I think that they've learned so much about controlling a lot of that. So I probably will do it, but it's one of those things is it going to give me a long remission? Then I probably will go with it. We've had that up on the burner several times, and we've pushed it back several times. So anyway, it's
Judy, what else is on the burner?
well, right now I'm still taking the venetoclax and the pirtobrutinib, and the first plan was to have that for a year and see how I was doing, and then we'd decide whether I needed to go another year, is what he had said before. So I don't know. Anyway, I'm all of it. He said that the ones that he had on it, he has 2 that are in very deep remission, for a good while. So I'd love that.
Sounds encouraging, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody have any more questions for Judy? Okay, Jerry.
I got to spend Christmas in the hospital.
Oh.
Oh no.
I came down with all of a sudden my platelets start crashing, and I got down to 5 platelets, and so they put me in the hospital. I had to go in emergency, and meanwhile, everybody's got the flu and got COVID and all this stuff, so they're stacking them up like cordwood, and I'm freaking out. And they didn't know what happened, so I broke out with what is it, petechiae, all the spots and everything, all the stuff, and I thought cancer came back. And what ended up happening was they came back and did the blood tests and everything, and they spent probably close to, I was in the hospital for about 5 days, and these guys must have spent $40,000 with every test imaginable, trying to figure out what was the matter with me. And all the tests came back. My blood was okay. Everything was okay. They didn't do a bone marrow test because I had to go to my local hospital. I didn't go to the cancer place because it was too much of an emergency. And they came back and they said that they thought I have ITP, which I do have. And I don't know if you're familiar with ITP, but basically what it is my donors' stem cells are attacking all my platelets now. So what happened was, it was really weird. I tracked my progress, and I started noticing I had pneumonia, and then I caught this weird virus for like 7 months, and then I got a bad sinus infection, and they had to treat me with heavy duty antibiotics, and then I went and got hernia surgery for my stomach, And what happened was all that stuff combined tanked and flipped her immune system over, and it started attacking my platelets and everything. And so what they said, came back and did is they put me on heavy duty steroids, Decadron, to try to flip it, but it didn't work. So now I'm having to go get platelets like every other day. So they're giving me a bag of platelets. So I'm going up to like 22 to 30,000 platelets, and it knocks them down in like 36 hours, down to 5. So I'm getting that kind of immune response. So her stem cells are pretty good, I guess. But so what I'm having to do is go to get infusions every other day. And what they're trying to do is stabilize it. And then what they're going to do is then I'm going to go for something called IVIG.
Which is what I had.
Did you have that?
That's what I had the first week of January.
And you had it too? I've never had it. And so I guess they overwhelm your spleen and everything with to try to stop the platelets from dying or from getting killed.
Yeah.
What treatment did you have? I'm starting next Thursday, so I'm trying to go. I've been in emergency 3 times now.
Oh, wow.
Well, if IVIG is the same, if y'all talking about the same thing, Judy will tell you what what she gets it for.
I get it when my IgG is below 600. I take it, and I've had well, 2 or 3 years ago I had it like every month. Now I'm getting it about every 6 weeks.
Okay. So what they're going to do is they're going to try to do that.
It builds your immune system.
Pardon?
It builds your immune system.
Yeah. So I'm going to do that to stay. Because the steroids aren't working. They put me on prednisone then, thinking it was going to work. So I'm on like 80 milligrams of prednisone, man. I'm just not doing anything, really.
Keeping you awake?
Keeping you awake and making you hungry.
I'm on Elvis sleeping pills, I say now. And that's going from 3 hours. Now I'm getting 5 hours, at least 5 hours sleep. But I'm tapering now. So they're going to do this stuff. And then what they're hoping to do is inject me with TPO.
What is that?
That stimulates stem cells. So what they're going to try to do is stimulate, it stimulates platelets through the bone marrow and everything. So while they're doing that to increase my immunity and everything, they're going to start injecting me with, depending on how that goes, they're going to inject me with this TPO to start stimulating platelets, because I can't keep on going whenever you get them. My God, it's constant platelets.
Jerry, is this all with your local hospital, not the cancer hospital?
No, I have to go to the cancer hospital now, which is just, it's, and so it's a 7-hour experience, because I got to drive an hour, I can drive it back an hour, and they've got, it's cluster just to get the platelets and stuff. But hopefully they'll be able to do this TPO, and that'll work. To build up my stuff, and then that supposedly could flip the immune system. But what was really cool about it was I looked all this stuff up in Gemini, Google Gemini, and Notebook LM, and it came back and gave me the whole diagnosis of everything and made a checklist of everything I was supposed to do going into this IPVIG, of drinking water, taking the Tylenol, all the stuff. So I had a big checklist of everything, and it made it. It put it in Google Keep. It gave me a whole thing. It told me everything about because these guys don't really explain anything. They just come back and say, "Well, we're going to do this," and they don't tell you anything. So I got a huge list.
The IVIG, before they give it to me, I have 2 Tylenol, a Benadryl, and a steroid.
And tea. They say tea is supposed to work out. Tea is supposed to help you while you're getting it done, to keep the capillary, to keep your for headaches and stuff, for your capillaries.
Well, you want to drink lots of water for sure.
Yeah, lots of water. Yeah. Lots of water. But so I'm going to go through that, and then if that doesn't work, I don't know. There's a new drug out that they've just come out with, that they just approved. That is a BTK inhibitor now. It'll suppress that system as well. It'll suppress her B cells from attacking, versus having to do infusions and things like that. And that's kind of a last resort. The last resort is removing your spleen.
What's the BTK inhibitor?
Hold on. Got it here. This thing is fantastic with the. Okay, it says here, new for 25-26, the FDA just recently approved WAYRILZ, RILZABRUTINIB.
I don't know that one.
And it's a BTK inhibitor, new class of oral medication that targets the causes of the immune response in adults with chronic ITP. And it's brand new. So at least there's a pill you can take now. It's probably going to be damned expensive. But if you go through, it's a typical thing of you have to go through all these lines.
If you're on Medicare, you'll just pay one time.
That's right. And I do love, thank you, Joe Biden, because I'll take the $2,000 hit because I'm having migraines.
2,100 this year.
And I want to go on the Lady Gaga drug to take care of those migraines, because the traditional stuff isn't working anymore. But so that's what's going on. But I tell you what, I mean, so I get into this hospital, just a quick story. I get in this hospital, they don't know what's going on, and they don't have a room for it. They got to put me somewhere. So they put me in like a watch room, no shower, community bathroom amongst this whole unit and everything. And it was wicked. For 5 days, no food. I had to do carryouts at the hospital, but they had people all in the hallways. They had stickums on the walls because it's so bad. And I'll tell you what, if you get this flu, I have seen so many. I mean, healthy people passing out and everything with this flu. And these idiots are running around not wearing masks or anything in the emergency room, throwing up in buckets and everything. It was unbelievable. Unbelievable. And so the other thing I'll tell you is, if you do get the flu, I was reading, instead of the antiviral Tamiflu, get the other one. There's a alternative from Japan that's supposed to be not as many side effects, and it actually works better for this current virus that's going around and the B virus for helping you get over that flu, to prevent hospitalization. And it also prevents you from giving it to somebody else. So it quickly prevents the spread of it for anybody in your household.
I had a friend that had it, and he took the Tamiflu, and his was over in 24 hours.
Wow.
But his wife, they didn't diagnose it soon enough, and so she had like 6 days or so, and she slept like 72 hours straight.
Because I'm looking to see, I have the name of it right here. I sent it to my friends and everything. I got 2 seconds. Where is it? I'll put it in the text thing, but it's okay. And everybody has it. It's basically for your Medicare scenario. It's $63. Costco has it. They all have it. They said it was hard to get, but now it isn't hard to get. But you got to get it within 48 hours. And so what I do now is, I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but if you go to your library, you can get a combination COVID and flu test. The test both. And you can get 4 tests free at your library.
Never heard
I
that.
don't know about the library, but yeah, I know you can.
Yeah, the libraries have them, so you can go and get them for free at the library. So you can test immediately. Call your doctor and get that the Tamiflu or whatever.
I don't know that our libraries have that.
Really?
Nancy had a name she typed in the chat. ZOFLUZA.
You know,
Zofluza.
something or whatever. Yeah, that's what you want to get. That's the better one.
Okay.
So that's it for me. Onward and
Okay.
onward to the fog I go. Just when you
Okay.
thought you would beat it. Oh, but the other thing is I got a biopsy. I did do a bone biopsy because I wanted to rule it out. I am no cancer, no nothing. I just got to deal with all this crap now. So that's good news at least.
Okay. Well, Linda, your turn.
Good evening, everybody. So the tumor board came back with a diagnosis of Duffy Null's associated neutrophil count. And so the injections that they were using for the Slitcher syndrome was dropping my neutrophils. I think I had mentioned this a couple of times. So I was showing neutropenia. What the tumor board said is that they need to stop that drug and they've got to come up with something else. So that was in December. And now I'm suffering with all the symptoms. I have the bone pain, the fatigue, all of that is back. And I see the hematologist, oncologist in February, but I don't go back to the other doctor until March. So what they've told me, I've got to be very careful with infections, picking up any type of infection right now because my immune system is, my blood count, everything is very low. Yeah, it's low. It's on vacation, and so what I didn't realize, I was at the dentist and I was getting I was going to get a cleaning, and they wouldn't do a cleaning.
No, you shouldn't do that.
Yeah, they said nope, you can't do a cleaning unless we get an approval from your oncologist, hematologist oncologist. Unless we get an approval, we're not doing a cleaning. Which I had, and when I had a cleaning last summer, they didn't say that. So I was a little surprised at that. So I'm just waiting now until I see Dr. Browning, which will be in February, to see what they're going to do. And while I was happy not to be taking any medication, being treated for anything other than my normal stuff that I'm taking, my body feels horrible. It just, it really does. Yeah, it really, really does. And because I have arthritis, which I didn't realize I have arthritis and pseudo gout, which they told me in November. So that's also triggering like some of the joint pain. So that's adding to it. So today they started me, they want me to start taking a leave twice a day for the next 5 days to see if I can get some relief with that, because I can't take Tylenol. So that's kind of.
Sally suggested Claritin for bone pain.
Right, you said that before. Yes. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna pick that up.
Yeah.
Time. Yeah. So but that's kind of where I'm at. If the pain is just.
And you can take that twice a day, by the way.
The Claritin?
Yeah, I take it morning and night.
Okay.
I take it for allergies. My allergist said you take it twice a day, the 24 hours.
I'm on Allegra. I think we had talked about that before, so I didn't know if I can take it
too. I take Allegra as well.
Oh, yeah, okay. You do.
I got really bad allergies. I take Allegra and Claritin both. Not a problem.
Okay. And Sally's waving her hand, no or yes? No.
Well, she said no for Allegra, I think.
Okay.
Really?
Okay.
Oh, for your condition?
For the bone pain.
So are they?
Yeah, Allegra won't do anything for bone pain, but Claritin.
Right. Okay.
So are they giving you the growth factor for your neutropenia?
She's when the tumor board results came back, the hematologist, she sent me everything and she said just wait till my next visit. But at that point, they had already notified the other doctor, and so I think the doctors were talking, but nobody is saying anything to me, other than we'll see you for your next follow-up appointment.
Have they done an IgG on you?
I'll have that in February. I'll have because with my case, see, it's the IgG, but it's also the IgMs as well.
Right. Well, the IgG is the only one that you can get the IVIG for. The
Okay.
IgM, they don't have an infusion for the IgM.
Right. And see, and my biggest problem, like because the Kineret wasn't working, like we tried the Kineret 3 different times, but when the tumor board came back with, you got to stop it. They didn't want to hear it. So now the other doctor, she did recommend something, but it was more or less, we're not sure because of everything else you have going on. And at that point, plus I had the stomach virus. I caught the stomach virus that was going around. So my attitude was, I don't want to do it. Let's just wait. And yeah, I rather to hear from my hematologist oncologist. I rather hear from her first to make some decisions before we try something else. Because all the experimenting, which I've shared with you all last year, it was just horrible. You know, the side effects for me, it's just not worth it. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. But I will get Claritin. I'm going to do that tomorrow. I wrote that down.
Go to Costco or Sam's and get the
Right,
generic.
absolutely.
It's a lot cheaper, a whole lot cheaper.
Okay.
It's called Loritin or something like that, 10
One brand,
milligrams.
if you're a Costco person, or whatever, or if you're Walmart, whatever what's the Walmart one?
Sam's.
Sam's Club, whatever the Sam's Club probably makes one too.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah. Members Mark has it, or Kirkland, either one.
Okay.
You get a year's supply of it for like
For
$15.
nothing, $8 and something.
Well, see, and for me, it's right now, and I said this to I was in physical therapy because they had recommended physical therapy to keep for sort of the bone pain, but the last couple of days have been so bad. When I went today, I said, I can't. I said, I'm in too much pain. And when she was examining, she was like, okay, so that's what she was saying. Do you leave? You'll do ice or heat. And, you know, she said I could still exercise, but I thought, I wasn't sure if even because I walk every day, if even the walking was making it worse or better. So today I just stayed still. I went to my appointment. I came home.
I miss a leave. Tylenol is useless. Honest to God. I'm on Tylenol now. To have a migraine with Tylenol, try to take Tylenol. It's useless.
No, see what my migraines, I have, we just changed it to sumatriptan for my migraine.
Yeah, I did that. I read. You'll get used to that, though. That's the problem. Because you'll get used to it, and then it doesn't work anymore. And so I'm going to go on to Qulipta now, I think, is what
Yeah, see, before I was on Malalax for my migraines, and then that stopped working.
Right. Everything stops working. I was on topiramate, and then it was like, I think what Judy was saying, I started losing my memory. I couldn't think. I go mid sentence, it was like worse than Donald Trump. I'd go off and just like I was 85 years old or something because of the because of it makes you lose your memory.
Okay.
My wife was on a pain reliever medicine several years ago when she had shingles, and it was like New Year's Day, and she got up and she was like an Alzheimer's patient. She was walking around, starting to do something, and then she go sit down. She didn't know where she was going. She didn't know what year it was. She didn't know. It was scary. Lou was talking about neurotoxicity. When you think about somebody having issues like that, you wonder, will I ever get them back? And I could see I was going to have a full-time job taking care of her because she was really dealing with a lot of confusion. And of course, I could go to the emergency room, but I waited till the next day to take her to the doctor, and he took her off of one of her medications, and within 24 hours, I had her back. So
Okay.
By then, she was cracking the whip on me and telling me to get back in my cage and stuff like that. So.
You know, it's scary, Lynn. I don't know how she felt about it, but you could see it as the care partner. And that part is scary for care partners when they see their loved one not being themselves. It is just like somebody who's had Alzheimer's. I mean, if you have neurotoxicities, and there are some of the treatments, like the chemo or the CAR T, the last one I did, the GPRC5D, which was the quintessential clinical trial. There are patients who, like 5 years later, they still had some of the neurotoxicities. So my husband was like, I don't want to lose who you are, and if we could do something else. But I took a chance, and I didn't have neurotoxicities, not with that trial. I did with the bispecific, but it is scary. It's really scary. And I was with it enough that when I could not remember my zip code to write it down, I was sending a letter to my oldest granddaughter who is in the Marines. And it was like, what's going on? As a person who has always been, able to do things and understand things and organize things and teach classes at the college level, it's scary because you think, am I losing myself? So neurotoxicities can be very scary.
Well, that day I kept notes, kept a log of what she was doing, what was going on, so I could share that with the doctor. This is what was happening. And of course I gathered up her medicine because I couldn't control what she was taking and when and all that. So I had to just take over everything for 24 hours. And because she'd get up in the night, you wouldn't know what she might go in the bathroom and take some medicine at the wrong time or whatever. That was back about 2018. And I stumbled across that text file that I had typed up the other day. I didn't go back and read it, but anyway, it's a scary thought. And of course, we've all seen folks with Alzheimer's or dementia, and that's a sad situation. And if I live long enough, I'm sure I'm headed that direction. But I told my wife, I said, I'll be waking up with a new woman every day.
She can remember her name.
Yeah. What are you doing? All right. The pastor that married us back in 1970, Jimmy Franklin, he had Alzheimer's, and he and his wife lived with their daughter, who was a dentist. They lived with their daughter, and he told his daughter, he said, that woman that's been sleeping in the room with me, I'm starting to have feelings for her. She needs to stay. And of course, he's talking about his wife. She said she needs to sleep in a different bedroom. And bless his heart, he was a great guy. They put him in a rest home with a little ankle thing on him so they could catch him when he went out the door. And he'd find some people and be talking with them, enjoying, and he'd walk right out the door with them. And of course, the alarms would go off, and they'd have to go track him down and bring him back in. But we laugh about the disease, but it does hurt. You lose them a day at a time.
Yep.
So let's say, well, we've finished all of our comments. We don't have to stretch this out, but
Nancy can say hi. She said she didn't have anything to share.
Well, yeah, Nancy, come on and sing a song for us, or show us some of your artwork, or she's writing a book.
Y'all are funny. I've been positioning myself to hide the TV behind me because we're in Dallas and Jay's watching the Lady Longhorns. What did you say they're ranked?
4.
Ranked 4. So we like watching the Lady Longhorns play basketball. But we're in Southlake.
Oh, okay.
So we're going to a marriage retreat that starts tomorrow at 8:30 in the morning at the EXO Marriage conference center. We are like right next door to Gateway Church, which is like a mega church here in Dallas. And South Lake is sort of known for its uppity price tag. And so tonight we ate at a place called Moxie's, which we'd never eaten at. And we had poutine.
Yeah, yeah.
It's Canadian.
Yeah. Curds, baby.
What do you?
Curds.
It's
With
French
pasta.
fries that are smothered in gravy and cheese. It's crazy. And then, so we're kind of on a date weekend, and I just left, and I'm still recovering from the colitis, so it's very challenging. But you know, gravy is pretty bland. White, you know, potatoes I can have, and so even though they were fried, you know, I was like, oh, I can do that. And so far so good, but boy, I tell you what, salads are completely off the table. And I was so much loving kale and spinach and just it's so strange how my diet has flipped. And it's just another thing. Jerry, I'm thinking about you too you're like, you don't even know yourself, because you're all your the girl who gave you her stuff. So you're like a blank canvas that just happens all the time.
You're being a bitch, man. I'll tell you. I think I'm menstruating. I'm menstruating right now.
If I had to go sit in the ER,
I cry all the time now. I like women's shoes. I go to the shoes. I go, those shoes. Oh, they're women's shoes. Whoa. I don't know.
Lou, I encourage you to go have a nice dinner, and you know, do.
And let me tell you, you talk about salads. Try passing 20,000 platelets a day. You talk about stink.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my
well,
God.
believe me, I have a whole lot more sympathy. You know?
It's viciousness.
Yeah.
All that death.
That is pretty much the craziest thing I've heard. But you know, I'm so just touched by. Yeah, Lou, you and Linda and Judy, you know, looking at CAR T. I mean, every time we have something new to explore, there's sort of the side of, oh, thank goodness for medicine, but there's also the side of, I don't really want to do this again. I mean, that's how, and I have hardly done anything, but that's how I feel. It's like, I don't really want to do this.
Nancy, when you did the venetoclax and all, did your platelets go down?
I have to ask my expert.
At, I want to say 72 hours, you were down in the 40s.
In the 40s.
Oh, okay. Mine haven't gone that low, but I have gone in the 80s.
But it was just a little like a dip, and then they came back up. Okay. So the venetoclax worked great for me, and yeah. I've had 2 clonoSEQs, and am still in the deepest remission that it can show.
Right. Hey. That's what I'm hoping. He was saying to get to a -6 is what he wanted me to be at.
But he still wants you to do the CAR T.
Go for the CAR T.
Yeah, but I think because of my history, it's kind of like Lou's. She's had, you know, several things, and this is like my 5th treatment too. So.
Right. So. Well, and you're a Richter survivor, which I just am so grateful for this group because it just shows me that we just do this one day at a time, but we keep walking and we keep walking. And Lou, will you be in a situation where you'll keep a caring bridge again?
Yeah, I'm getting ready to do an update in Caring Bridge, but I've been holding off because I wanted to make sure I was actually going to be doing a new clinical trial.
Yeah.
So until I get, my 2-week test, I hate to post it in Caring Bridge. I could do kind of a intermediate post, but yeah, it's been a while since I've done it. I think I've only had a couple of posts since we wrote the book in July is when that was published. So I guess, I want to keep people updated, but it's also I guess I could just post when it's good news. not when it's just bad news, but I consider being able to do a clinical trial as good news.
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of people think doing clinical trials is a burden, or it's not necessarily a positive thing. But when if I qualify, it would be number 6 for me, clinical trials and 3 CAR-Ts. So to me, it's like, oh my gosh, look at these wonderful, drugs and therapies that are available out there. And I revel in it. I think it's incredible that they're available. When you hear the statistics about how many people actually participate in clinical trials, I think it's in the teens, isn't it, Sally? Something like that. Only that amount of people who have, maybe it's lower, maybe it's in single digits, but that participate in clinical trials. But guess what? If we did not have clinical trials, we wouldn't have any of these drugs.
That's right.
That's right.
Lou, I'm surprised that they let you qualify for more because like mine, most of the time they say because I had Richter's and had chemo, I do not qualify for those
Right.
trials.
So far, everything that's been, brought forward by my doctor, of course, he knows,
Right.
my whole
Right.
history. So
Did
he
you ever
knows what
Did
I
you ever-
qualified for.
Did you ever have chemo in your regimen?
Oh, yeah. I've lost track of how many different drugs. So, yeah.
But you did have
That's
chemo
like-
too.
I was just so proud of myself for learning how to say obinutuzumab and venetoclax. I just thought I thought I was like graduated.
Okay.
Then they
Some
ask
of
you to
these
spell it
names.
on the form.
Yeah, one of the moderators of CLL, he always tried to say it like Arnold Schwarzenegger, "Obinutuzumab."
I always thought I was really doing good when I could remember GPRC5D.
Yeah, that woo right over.
I was just,
Yeah.
and then when the doctor who's was in charge of my case in the BMT clinic, she said, "Hey, they just said it was called Arlo now." The GPRC5D drug it's called Arlo. And
And
I
so-
thought, I can remember that. My husband said, yeah, like Arlo Guthrie,
Well,
the old
instead of-
singer.
Instead of the benetuzumab, because it's so hard to remember the spelling, I would usually, Gazyva is much easier to spell than benetuzumab.
By the way, Lou, I put the name of your book,
I saw
Living
that. Thank you, Lynn.
with Hope, Living with Hope by David and Lou
Uh-huh.
Sears. I put that in the chat. I don't know if with a recording, if anybody that looks at the recording actually sees what we put in the chat.
Yeah, I don't know if they can.
I don't think they can, but anyway, it's like Living with Hope by David and Lou Sears. So, and
Yeah,
you can
it's
get it through.
it's the second part of the title, Living with Hope, a Myeloma Journey. So, because I think there's another book called Living with Hope, but it's a different author. So. But that's okay.
I'll
I mean,
tell
I
you-
appreciate it.
I'll tell y'all one more little thing that on this journey of learning for every day. I've had this, I was in my closet and I was just looking at my shoes and I saw this pair of tennis shoes that I have. They're like turquoise and they're so ugly. And I thought, okay, maybe I should try wearing those. They're called ortho feet. And I have this bursitis. And Linda, I know this isn't going to help you, but I thought maybe, just maybe it will. And I don't know why nobody mentioned to me that I might try ortho shoes or try orthotics or something. Even my doctor, my bone doctor, the guy, he didn't even say, have you tried shoes? So I knew I was going to be moving boxes and moving into a building. So I was going to be walking a lot back and forth and all that. And I thought, I'll just try them. You know what? If it gets worse, I'll put other shoes on and I'll try. And lo and behold, my hip did not hurt near as bad. And I thought, oh my goodness. And so the next day I wore them again and they are so ugly, but I didn't care. I wore them again and it didn't hurt as much. And so now I've ordered 2 more pairs, a pair of just plain white ones and a pair of slip-on, like my sandal. And I'm so excited because I had tried the bee venom, the Aleve, and Aleve did help it and does help it some, but I can't be on Aleve all the time.
Good for your stomach.
So, yeah. So anyway, that was kind of a win for me. It was like, but I was a little like, why didn't somebody just sit, like, anyway, it's all good now.
Well, after you had said the bee venom that just burned and everything, I thought, I'm not trying that. But I did get some magnesium cream and have been using that on my feet for the neuropathy. And it does calm it down a little bit. So I am going in March to see a neurologist just to see if they have anything on the
I was just reading
or whatever.
Red light therapy might be able to help you too with that. So I was reading that red light therapy is helping with neuropathy, particularly with the feet.
Yeah, Sally, I saw the myrrh and the deal, and you had mentioned that I think at one of the other meetings. Is it liquid?
It's Elrxfio. Okay, I got it in here.
She said the frankincense and myrrh oil. Do you rub it on? Okay. Well, so far the magnesium has helped me. So.
But see that's I'm glad to hear this because I've been suffering with, I know with the Sitcha syndrome it does affect my toes and my fingers. So my fingers get cold, my toes get cold. But what I've noticed over the last couple of weeks that 2 of my toes they're red, almost like a strawberry. They've gotten very, very red. And with my socks, when I put on my sneakers, if I stand them too long, it's irritating the area. So I'm going to the podiatrist next week to see. So I'm glad to hear about the magnesium cream because I'm wondering if that would help. Because I have been doing Vaseline and I have been doing coconut oil.
Well, it is also, I haven't had the cramps in my legs as much, and magnesium is supposed to help, with the cramping too. So I think I'm getting besides I've been drinking electrolyte too, which I know Sally said she drinks 6 a day, I think still.
Yeah, well, I take magnesium. I'm on magnesium orally. But I didn't really think about the cream for my feet. Okay, the frankincense and the myrrh.
It says magnesium cream, be careful because you can get too much of it. How is too much? I mean, I just barely put some on. Just it's a very lightweight that I got off of Amazon, of course.
Okay, so I'll look for the oil though too, and it's just so strange that my feet, along with everything else now, it's just part of the journey. But it's good to be here because then I get to hear ideas and suggestions. That helps me a lot.
Okay, Nancy, I'll show you the electrolyte I take. Let me go get it.
While Judy's taking us for a walk around her apartment there at the retirement center, I will say that I had blood work done on January the 2nd, and the doctor, my oncologist, Dr. Juan, he probably yawned when he opened it and looked at it, and I have not heard back from him, but I sent it to him. PCP said everything looks normal, nothing to worry about. See you again in 6 months. And so I told, okay, here is the electrolyte.
Okay.
I buy the multi-package on Amazon, and it has 4 flavors. It has grape, cherry, passion fruit, and pineapple. And I mix it with water, and that's what I take my venetoclax with. But I also put a couple of packages of stevia in it too. Makes it taste better. But I've been doing one of these every night. It's about $1 a package is what it comes out to. And if you watch, they sometimes put it on sale for 25% off. So sometimes I get it for $11.99 for the package, and sometimes it's $15.99.
Is yours called Venture, Judy? Is it?
It's called Venture Pal.
Yeah, that's what okay. Thank you.
It doesn't have any citrus in it, does it?
I don't think so, because this is grape, and then there's a cherry one, and a pineapple, and a passion fruit, or the
Aspartic acid or anything in it?
I don't know. It's so small I can't read.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to get out, so got to figure out something for the wife and I to eat. Good to see y'all, and y'all can carry on. Lou and Judy have the control. They've been at the controls the whole way, so good to see everybody. Nancy, you and Jay have a good time on that marriage retreat.
Yeah, you tell Shirley we'll hold a spot for y'all.
Okay.
I'll pray for you.
Yeah. So, good to see everybody. Hopefully, Sally, you get your microphone fixed for next time.
Do we actually, though, was this a special meeting date? Do we actually meet on a different day? Like a different week?
The first Thursday, but because the first Thursday was in the
right. So I'll see you
first,
guys in like a week and a half, like in
2 weeks. 2
weeks. It's going to be really fast. I better think of something. My body will do something, I'm sure, in 2 weeks.
We can hear about your marriage. We can hear about the retreat.